What's up, Jet fans? This is GreenBean coming to you from a 95-degree Central Virginia, sweltering heat, windy day, which is nice. It's what you want on a hot day, man. I'm trying to hide in the shade. It's not working. Very humid, but that's okay because it is draft day. I couldn't be more excited. I'm ready to get into this thing. And as I sit here organizing my thoughts, I thought to myself, I haven't even told these guys who I like. I haven't even put it out there so I can be wrong later. What kind of a guy would I be if I didn't do that for you? So we're going to make a quick one. I'm just going to give you my top fives, maybe top four and a sleeper kind of a thing for each positional group. We'll get this going so we at least have something to chew on before the draft. Before 7 p.m. when we're over at Jets Talk 24/7's channel with Matt O'Leary and Ryan and whoever the hell else jumps in and joins us in the pool. So let's start with guard because that's a need that we have. I want to let you guys know I'm going to just look at pure guards. There are tackles that can be guards. You know, they could do both, like maybe Rashawn Slater could be a guard. But I want to talk about guys who are projected to be guards in the NFL. Okay, so my number one is like a lot of your number one, Elijah Vera Tucker, although I've heard him called Alicia Vera Tucker. I don't know which one's right. I hear it all the time, all different way. Elijah's what it looks like to me, so I'm just going to go with that. If I'm wrong, let me know. The next one is Wyatt Davis. There's been all sorts of ups and downs with this guy, very similar to Andrew Thomas last year. Loved Andrew Thomas coming out. All the weeks before the draft, it was like up, down, up, up. Same thing's happening with Wyatt Davis. His injuries, from what I hear, have checked out. He's good to go. And if that's the case, he's right there. It's kind of like a 1B for me. I like Wyatt Davis a whole bunch out of Ohio State. My next one is Trey Smith out of Tennessee. Love that guy. There was a time when he was my number one guard, and I still like him a whole bunch. Now, another guy is probably not going to be in many top fives, but he's in mine because I think he's an absolute plug-and-play stud, and that is Tommy Kramer coming out of Notre Dame. I love him. I would be happy to have him. If he makes it to the third or something like that, I think it's dumb by the rest of the NFL, but I would jump at him in the third round. Jump at Tommy Kramer. And a little bit of a sleeper pick, if you will. I actually put him in my Jetnation sleeper vid, and that is Royce Newman out of Ole Miss. I happen to like Royce Newman a whole bunch. I think he's got great stuff in his future. And there you have it. So there's my guards. All right, so that brings us to center, the center of it all. So everybody's top center is the same as my top center. What do you think of this, huh? Hey, wind. Hey, what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do out here in Virginia? So Creed Humphrey's at the top of my list. I love him. I think he'd be a great get no matter where you get him. If you use 23 to make sure you get him, that's fine with me. If you wait and you get him at 34, sweet, even better. He's not making it past that point. I'm telling you right now, that'll be your last chance to get him. In my opinion, he's not making it past Green Bay, so 23 would be your only shot at getting him. He's number one. The second one I have is Josh Myers. Love Josh Myers. I think he's a great one out of Ohio State. The number three is Landon Dickerson, but I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't know if I'd take him before the third round, specifically because of his knee injuries, man. He's had 2 season-ending knee injuries, and that's scary for a guy you want to anchor your offensive line who's going against 350-pound monsters all day, every day. It's just scary. You want to give him you want to take him in the fourth, third, pick 86, that's fine. Unfortunately, I think he's a great player, but he's too dangerous to take anywhere before that from me. So another one I like is out of Georgia, Trey Hill. He actually shared the offensive line with Andrew Thomas, and I believe it was Isaiah Wilson last year. So Trey Hill's a big one, 6'4", 330, love him. Think he's going to be a great pro. I also happen to like Drake Jackson out of Kentucky. I like him, man. He's a little bit light. He's in the 285, 290-ish kind of a weight class, but I think that adding that 5-10 pounds is not going to be a problem for him, and I think that if he does that, he's great. He's pretty much plug and play. Another guy that I happen to like a great deal is Rye Schneider out of where is he? Oklahoma State. That's where he's from. Rye Schneider out of Oklahoma State. I've heard no one talk about him. I happen to like him. I think there was an issue or two. I forget what it was. A little bit smaller, 6'2", 320. But he's perfect. He's another good one. So there's your sleeper, Rye Schneider, Oklahoma State. Let's get into quickly, because I've talked about this positional group more than any other position group in the entire game of football over the past few months. Tight end, I'll just blow through it for you. Number 1, Kyle Pitts. Number 2, Pat Freiermuth. Number 3 for my list is Brevin Jordan. Number 4 is Hunter Long. Number 5 is Tommy Tremble. Now, I will tell you, Tony Poljan has slowly crept up, and I'm happy to see my UVA guy kind of creeping up the steps toward the earlier portion of the draft. Makes me very happy. I think he's probably going to end up going in the 3rd or 4th, when I did think he was going in the 6th, if he got drafted at all. Just a few months ago, I didn't know if anybody was looking at him. 6'7", 270 friggin' pounds. He's an animal. But my sleeper, and you've heard me say this name a whole bunch, he's very similar and comes from the same school as Donovan Peoples-Jones. His problem is production, because they don't run an offense that utilizes him properly. His name is Nick Eubanks out of Michigan. He's an absolute stud, and he's going to come into the NFL and show everybody why that is. But it's one of those things, he's probably going to make it to the 5th, 6th, 7th round, and somebody's going to get the steal of the draft. It's how it goes every year. They know the guy's great, but they're not going to take him early because they think nobody's going to take him early. It's the way it goes. So Nick Eubanks is my sleeper for the tight end class. All right, let's get into the running backs. Now, it's been weird with all the smoke coming out of late. I don't know what the purpose is one way or the other. I'm going to be looking, I'm going to be thinking, why is this leak being given now? Why is Joe Douglas allowing this information to flow out? I got ideas, but I can't put it together yet. I have to see more. So I'll just give it to you how I see them. I'm going to tell you right now, it's Najee Harris all day, every day for me. That is the number 1 running back in this class, and it's not even close. Now, once we get past Najee Harris, it's Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Kenneth Gainwell. I like Trey Sermon, but I'm going to tell you too, and I thank Terry Monroe for giving this guy to me. I love him. Out of Buffalo, Jarrett Patterson, shifty little fella. So he's got Napoleon complex, as I've said before. His whole life has been really, it can be described by his size. He has been overcoming his size and proving doubters wrong as a go-to his entire life. I think he's going to do that again at the next level. The only problem with him has been the competition up at Buffalo. And I also like Kylan Hill. I don't know where he's going to go. The truth is, I like Kylan Hill maybe a little bit more than some of the other guys. But all right, so the wide receivers, I'm just going to give you the big names. This is a deep wide receiver class, and everybody knows, well, this is one of those, it's one of the position groups that a lot of people tend to know best. So let me just give it to you and get through it. It's Jamar Chase, Waddle, Devontae Smith, Rashad Bateman, Kadarius Toney, and then I'm going to tell you, I also like Seth Williams. He's right in there for me, man. He's right up there. I know he's not looked at in that same package, but to me, he's this year's Terry McLaurin. If that guy makes it to the 3rd, whoever gets him is getting a steal. So as my sleeper, I'm going to throw out a name called Racey McMath. Fullback, Ben Mason. The edge rushers are interesting because we have guys who opted out. We have guys that are better in the 4-man scheme. We have guys that are more of an outside linebacker type. So I'm going to try to give you the guys I think would be a good fit for this system. Number 1, we have Kwity Paye. 6'4", 277 pounds, good hand in the dirt defensive end type. He's number 1. Number 2, I got Gregory Rousseau, 6'5", 260. I know he's been sliding down the boards, but I think, again, I like to reference Andrew Thomas. It's one of those things, man. It's just their names that are hot and this and that. The other thing, I think when it all comes down, Gregory Rousseau's going early. So we got Kwity Paye, Rousseau. I love Jalen Phillips, love him to death. The concerns that people have are the concussions. I'm with you. The wrist, the concussion. He's had some injuries, retired for a minute, the whole thing. But I think the work ethic that he showed coming back from that it's the kind of stuff you want in your player. I'm sure Joe Douglas and Saleh love this guy. So I don't know. He's concerning, but I like him. Carlos Basham, and I still like Patrick Jones. I don't care. He's like the forgotten man. He slid on so many boards. He's not even being mentioned anymore. And he's been leapfrogged by Joe Tryon. That's good because I like him too. But Patrick Jones is going to be a stud in this league. And for my sleeper, again, it's Wyatt Hubert out of Kansas State. If you didn't look at this guy yet, you're gonna love him. He literally has his teammates say that he has a different setting that's called Wild Man. The guy's out of control, unstoppable. The problem with that is he's gonna need some help containing it. He's a little bit undisciplined, a little bit loose, but the power, the speed, the drive, the motivation, the motor, it's all there. His problem is gonna be containing and then expanding his repertoire, if you will. The linebackers look like this for me. We got Micah Parsons way up top. You got Zavin Collins, number 2. I know he's been slipping a little bit. You have Nick Bolton, number 3 for me. Number 4 is Chaz Surratt, the quarterback turned linebacker. Think about that. They just switch him to a different position, and he goes out there with all the guys who've been playing that position their whole lives, and he outplays everybody naturally. That's the kind of guy I like. I think it's the kind of guy Joe Douglas likes. I'm going to say Jamin Davis, who I think his name is actually pronounced Jamin, but Jamin sounds cool. So Jamin Davis. I like Patty Fisher out of Northwestern a whole bunch. And you know what? I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it. I know nobody's mentioned this guy's name yet, but I was just looking at him because I'm in this vicinity right now, and I'm going to go ahead and give you UVA zone, Zane Zandier. I don't even know if he's going to get drafted, but I think he's got it. I think he's got developmental possibilities. So there you go. That's my sleeper, Zane Zandier out of UVA. The safeties, I'm just going to give you a couple that I like. I love Divine Diablo. I love Hufanga. I love Paris Ford. I love Richie Grant. I love Javon Holland. And why not? I'll throw in a little bit of Mark Webb out of Georgia. I'll admit I haven't done too much work on the safeties this year, but I like some. Cornerbacks. What's going on with the cornerbacks? So here we go. You got Patrick Surtain up top. I'm seeing arguments for J.C. Horn. Truth is, I like J.C. Horn better, so I'm going to say J.C. Horn's up top. Surtain is number 2. We have Asante Samuel, number 3. You have Greg Newsome, Tyson Campbell. I'm going to say it. Caleb Farley would be the guy for me. Love him. The injuries scare the hell out of me. I wouldn't touch him before the second round at best, and probably I'd be looking at a guy like him in the third round. Can't do it. I like Eric Stokes. And for the sleeper, he's not so much a sleeper anymore, but man, I'm telling you, if you can get this guy later, I think it's going to work out for you. And that's Israel Mukumu out of South Carolina. Kicker. We better get a kicker. Joe Douglas, if you hear this, please draft a kicker this year. Just do it. Who cares? Draft a kicker. Don't take your chances with the undrafted free agent market. Just take it. We got Jose Borregales. We got Evan McPherson. We got Riley Patterson. And we have Jake Verility. That's it. There's a whole bunch of kickers, but those are the guys I like. In truth, I'd love to see an accurate kicker like Borregales brought in here. I think we could finally put it to bed for a few years. So, guys, we're going to be just together in a little while. It's not going to take long. I put this together fast for you. I'm trying to squeeze it out there. Enjoy. I'll see you in a little bit on Jets Talk 24/7's channel. Go Jets.